Okay, here we want to be able to use the graph to solve the inequality. So we want to find out, when is this function 3 times x minus 3 divided by x minus 2 times x minus 4 is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so we want to be able to type our answer using interval notation. So let's take a look at the graph here. So what's happening with the graph? Well, we can see here, if you look at the denominator, we have two vertical asymptotes. We have a vertical asymptote that goes through 2. So x is equal to 2. And we have another vertical asymptote going through 4. Okay, so that tells us that we have the following. We have three regions. We have region 1, we have region 2, and then we have region 3. Okay, so if we take a look at region number 1, you can see that this is going to go from negative infinity all the way to 2. So we can see that this interval goes from negative infinity to positive 2. Okay, this region in the middle goes from 2 to 4. Okay, and then this last region, we can see that it's going from 4 to positive infinity. Okay, now the question is asking us the following. It's saying, okay, where in the graph, okay, where's the function less than or equal to 0? So where is it below the x-axis? Well, you can see here that this graph right here is below the x-axis here. Okay, and then it's also going to be below the x-axis from here. Okay, now where is it above the x-axis? Well, from here to there, it's above the x-axis. Okay, and then from here to here, you can see it's also above the x-axis. So which intervals do you find where it is below or above the x-axis? Well, we can see what the first region tells us. Okay, and that first region goes from negative infinity to positive 2. So you can see here that it goes from negative infinity to positive 2. Okay, now if you notice, because 2 is a vertical asymptote, we cannot put a bracket there because of the fact that this says less than or equal to, which means we would have to include that point, but therefore we can't, so we need a parenthesis. And now union. Okay, now where is it below the x-axis? Well, you can see here that this value is 3, and it's crossing through that point. Okay, and since it crosses through that point, and it's less than or equal to, it's below the x-axis where it starts at bracket 3, and it's going to what value? Well, it's going to the value of 4. So it's decreasing between bracket 3 and 4 because it doesn't cross that vertical asymptote, and it's below the x-axis. So it goes from bracket 3 to 4 with a parenthesis. So let's go ahead and put that result in there. So we have parenthesis negative infinity, comma 2 with the parenthesis, union, and again we're including the value of 3, which is the x-intercept, comma, and then we can't include 4 because that is a vertical asymptote, and that's where it's below the x-axis. Let's check our answer, and there is our result.